All right. I guess I'm live now. I just have to figure out a bit the live streaming technology, but I think the tone should be fine. If not, just let me know. So let's wait a bit until some people arrive. Otherwise, it will be a very lonely live stream. So today from a beautiful Germany, and I see we have the very first viewer, which will be amazing. So today we will actually talk about before the market opens. It's, which time is it in New York now? New York local time, because here in Germany it's almost 3 p.m. Local time. So it's 8:52 a.m. in New York. So actually we are having about 35 to 40 minutes of talk time before the market opens in New York. However, making sure that people can see me, actually, let me see. Should be all good. Maybe let me tell you a story. I just arrived in Germany. It's beautiful weather here, but actually I forgot my my camera, my vlogging camera, inside the plane from Bordeaux to Amsterdam. So I had really a horrible time because I was calling them just after I landed in Germany, and they said that they will look into it, and lost and found cases are open and so on and so forth. So let's see how this develops. So I need to vlog with my iPhone, or maybe I will just enjoy a bit of Germany. So however, if there is someone out there from our users that is working for KLM, make sure to help and support where possible. So very funny story. Yeah, today we will definitely talk about a couple of things from politics that will or that are actually influencing the stock market, plus of course the trade market, and I will have a little bit of things to say. I think there's a potential bond market bubble out there, so very interesting. We will look into some charts over there. We will have a look on yesterday markets as well. Of course, there was, the market started actually quite neutral, and then it jumped Apple more than 4% even while they was on a neutral start because Trump said that he will actually pause or wait with some of the tariffs for the shopping festive in the US and Christmas market. So good news for the stock market that they are actually not so strict on the deadline of the 1st of September, when they wanted to implement the new tariffs of $300 billion of goods. 10% on that number, that's $30 billion more that the US consumer have to pay if they want to purchase some US products that are manufactured in China, or just order from China. However, I think this is still an interesting and very impactful time for the stock market. So again, so we will talk about yesterday's market. We will talk about Trump delaying the tariffs. We will talk about tension in the market, of course, because of Hong Kong. This will be quite interesting. We will also make sure to cover the WeWork IPO and see what the market is doing right now. So I would say let's dive into it, and I would say we will start with markets. Just started quite neutral, while then they are exploded literally after Trump announced that he will wait with tariffs of Chinese goods. And then the market, inclusive Apple stock, went up 4.23%, unbelievable. So yesterday we had a great rebound on the stock market due to Donald Trump's statements, which is, I believe, quite good. You see that they are not so much into fight that they want to really sacrifice the US economy, which I believe is a good sign. And you see how volatile the market is there, that they directly react with so much percent. I think the Dow Jones went up yesterday 1.44%. In yesterday's environment, so that was quite successful. Though the market is very volatile because of two additional things. I believe for once we have this critical economic and political situation in Hong Kong, which is putting pressure on the market, of course, as Hong Kong is like the New York of Asia. So this is very, very important for the stock market, how this situation evolves. Moreover, you see that August is usually not that high volume trading months, because a lot of people are on holidays and so on and so forth. So you have a couple of people that, or a lot of people actually that not trading. So small, bigger trades on the market by hedge funds and everything can impact the market very, very much. So if there's just a small number of volume and it going in one direction, this can have very, very much impact. So interesting to see how this months end, and then we go into the more volume markets, and months like September and October is usually a good market good market situation for all the stock market interesting enthusiasts. So let's dive into today's market. So if we're looking into today's market, the pre-market data actually don't look that well. Almost 400 points. Dow Jones will open lighter because there's the very breaking news that main yield curve between the 10-year Treasury note and the 2-year Treasury yield just met each other. So actually you get more percentage for the 2-year than the 10-year bond. This is quite interesting, and this is usually historically speaking also a very big recession signal. So that's why the people are scared that actually the recession will start in the next couple of weeks, and this is a very, very good factor. Historically speaking, the recession will start between 6 and 22 months. So we still have a bit of time. If this is really the start go signal that we're going into recession, very interesting also that how the bond market in general is acting, because I have here just a chart that I wanted to show you, which is absolutely insane. So you can see here, this is the 30-year bond market performance versus the actual DAX, the German stock market index, so the Dow Jones of Germany. And you see that here the yellow line shows that the money goes directly into the bond market very, very drastically over the last couple of weeks, and the DAX goes down. But whenever you see this kind of charts, literally 100% vertically this usually means that this is a bubble, definitely. So nobody knows how this will develop. If so much money is available on the market and it goes a lot into the bonds, and the bonds just explode and go like vertically up, this is definitely a bubble. I have also read a Bloomberg article about it, that even less interesting bonds from, I think, countries like Paraguay, Latin America, and everything, even where they see a big danger for the countries, they went up like crazy. So you can see that there's a lot of potential and signs for a bubble. Same like Bitcoin or other charts that go straight up. It's a sign that a couple of weeks later this will definitely fall down, and nobody knows what happens there. So a crash in bonds would be not so good for our economy, that indeed. But I have a couple of people that I know, they are starting to short the bonds because they think that it's a true sign of a bubble and it will burst in the next couple of weeks. So interesting what happened there. Another interesting topic here today for the market actually is that WeWork, startup similar famous like Uber or Lyft and all these new startups like Slack, will announce that most probably in September they will go live on the stock market, and they had to release their numbers, and the numbers are just as ridiculous like Uber, I believe, in my personal opinion. This is just one man's opinion, so make sure to make your own research. But they made $1.54 billion, in the last couple of 6 months, and they lost 900 million US dollars. So they not actually lost the $1.54 billion that they had in revenue, but also lost all of them plus 900 more. It's a very, very intense capital business model that they are doing. So actually WeWork, or they actually, I think they rebranded to only We. So however, they are buying properties in New York on good addresses where the properties are very, very expensive, and then release them or rent them for freelancers. So actually you pay a membership and then can access this addresses and these buildings and properties. So interesting to see how this business model develops. I think they can profit from that. We have a more and more economy where people want to do things by their own, and everybody goes into the social media platforms to create their own company, and so on and so on. And I think that's quite interesting to have more opportunities there, to have their own office, and so on and so forth. On the other side, I think they can profit from the ongoing property value increasing, though if we're going into bad times or even a property crash, of course they would be in trouble indeed. So their current valuation onto the market, due to one of the latest SoftBank investment into WeWork, is $47 billion, which is really high, similar valuation to Tesla, and Tesla makes almost 10 times that revenue, just to put it in perspective. So we're looking into a same valuation, a little bit higher than Tesla, but you see Tesla is doing almost 20 times that revenue. So you see the valuation, according, if you're just looking into the revenue, is quite high. So JP Morgan as well as Goldman and Sachs will lead this IPO. This actually means that they are supporting the company to bring it on the market. Moreover, they are supporting and making the road tour. So usually when a company does an IPO, they are going on a tour, and the CEO travels with a private jet to different bankers, high value individuals, and promoting the company, so people investing it. So when the company is going into the IPO, the course should go up, and this is the hopes of the CEO and the founders and the current stakeholders like SoftBank, because they invested billions and they putting it on the market. So the shares should grow and even maybe explode, and then they can, after a time, usually there's a cap of, let's say, 6 months or 12 months where the current shareholders cannot sell the shares on the market, just to make sure that the stock don't drop, and the people don't drop the shares once it's available on the market, so to avoid any crash. They also have a new kind of business models or business units. We work, and they call it, how they call it? We Grow. So We Grow is actually like a kind of school that they're proposing for very, very young children. And We Live is actually another more commercial business unit to attract companies to actually have full companies rent units with WeWork, not only individuals. So they are planning to have, they, for example, buying a whole floor and then renting it out to a company, and so the company don't have to take a loan or whatever to buy this floor, and WeWork provide the space. So they're all about providing space for entrepreneurs, for companies, and so on. So I think in the very, very fundamentals, WeWork is a quite interesting company. Let's see how it develops. I think the valuation of WeWork is quite expensive. So let's see when they're coming on the market. So bond market, Hong Kong is interesting. Donald Trump with the tariffs is interesting today. We have also, actually, I wanted to check how the gold market is going on, because usually when there's a huge risk on the stock market or the bond market, usually the gold goes up. So I'm just looking up. Yeah, so gold is actually up almost 1%. Gold is always a good hedging asset. This means when people think that stocks and bonds and everything is not to their full satisfaction, and they think it's a little bit hectic or maybe volatile, people like to go into gold as a security asset, because they think that gold is such a historical safe haven for money. So people start to buying gold, and I believe gold should be interesting for every portfolio, because gold can always be traded. It's even in very, very bad times, gold is a very, very secure asset, more than anything else, I think, or I can think of. So it's quite interesting. So we have a question there. Haitham Kayari, what about buying China currency? This is actually an interesting fact, because China currency is going down. So and I think the main news saying that they think that China is doing this manipulation, but maybe it's just the normal market reaction, because if the US and China trade going on, you have actually people thinking, okay, if the tariffs and the Chinese product gets more expensive, why I should keep my money in Chinese currency? So the people try to sell currency and get into stronger currencies. So the actual market reaction would be that the Chinese currency go down. However, I'm not too much into currencies. I just recently have discovered that the Japanese yen is an interesting currency, because the people, the Japanese people are buying their own currencies just to make their country stronger and the currency stronger. So you can, though the Japanese central bank printed a lot of money, so the value of the Japan currency should go down or be stabilized, it went up and up and up. So this is always a good opportunity. So, if you're looking into safe haven, so go into gold, go into Japanese currency. I think this is two interesting things to invest in. So I think we covered most of the topics today. I'm very happy that you passed by. So I will see if I will make this live stream more often. It's definitely helping the YouTube algorithm to push my channel forward. I'm happy to have more interaction with the audience. Make sure to subscribe and hit and smash the like button, and more to come the next days. Have a good trading day. Peace. Okay, now I just have to figure out how to switch that off. Peace.